Hi there, everybody. This is Jake with TrueRife. Today we're going to be going over version 6 software usage and features, along with some tips and tricks at the end. This is going to be a complete overview of our version 6 software from top to bottom, so stay tuned here and we'll get started. Okay, we're going to jump right in here. First thing we're going to do is hit Open Program, and this is going to bring you to your full TrueRife library. You see I've got it already auto-sorted here to have my folders up front with things like autism sets, Ion ProWave folder, and overnight sets along with our private folder. We'll get into that later. And then you've got your full library, which you can scroll at the bottom here to get ready to run a program. So first one we'll go to is probably one of our most popular programs. It's called Pain Bio Basic. We'll just click this one. We'll hit the open button in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, at the top here, we've got our 30-minute runtime. We've got a quick synopsis of what the program does, and then we have our command lines here. These are actually our frequencies that we're running right here. Under Pulse 2, all of these numbers underneath these are the actual frequencies. If you want more information about these command lines and how we build these programs, see my other video called TrueRife Building Custom Programs. It's in the TrueRife video library under support on our website, and I can go through and give you more information about what all of these numbers mean. Otherwise, you really don't need to know. We've already got them pre-built for you, and you should be ready to just run your programs. Next, in the main view, we have this big white box here. In the top, we have Pain Bio Basic, which is the title of our program. Here's our recommended sessions, related programs if you're looking for different ones to run after you've run the Pain Bio Basic, feedback rating, and then here's our application that gives you which bulb to run, recommendations along with the ground pad. Down at the bottom here, we have the links section. I want to just ignore this for now. We've revamped our website recently, and we have 2,500 programs almost, like I said. These mainly linked back to our old website, and it would take probably 5 or 6 days just to go through each program line by line. We have an update coming that will fix these links, but for now, like I said, just ignore these. Okay, now that we've covered this left white box here and the main box that has our subject line and all of these, we're going to go down to the bottom blue. First thing I need to do is hit Run Program. We want to make sure our F122 generator is powered on. We have the bulb lines plugged in, switch to bulb, and I'll go ahead and hit Run. You can't see it, but I've got a Dr. Joe's file running this Pain Bio Basic program, and its light is emitting over here on my right. Down at the bottom here in the blue section, the channel A is the frequency that we are currently running. If you're looking in this left-hand folder, all of these command lines I told you about that we don't need to worry about, unless you want to get some more information with that building a program. That 160 is the first frequency that we're running. You can see that here. The bottom says total time. The total time of the program is 30 minutes long. If we scroll up to the top here, you can see it matches the runtime of the program. And then on the remaining time, this is our countdown clock that lets you know how much time is remaining in the program. And this is a great way to let you know that the bulb is running, along with the light flashing itself. Then you know you've got a two-way to check that your program is running and you're good to go. Next up, we're going to be looking at what these buttons do at the top. The stop button is going to completely stop the program exactly how it sounds, and this will reset it. So once you hit the stop button, you will not be able to resume where you were at in that program. Say you had 15 minutes left and you hit stop. The only option for you to get going on this program again is to hit the run button, and you can see it just starts it over right from the beginning. Now, if you're in the middle of a program and you want to take a break and you don't want to have to reset the program from the beginning, that's where the pause button comes in. You can see if I hit the pause button here, it stops us at 29 minutes and 47 seconds for your bathroom or a snack break. And when you come back, you can just simply hit the pause button again and resumes right in the middle of the program where you were at. Next up, we're going to talk about the hold button, and that is to hold to a specific frequency. So if we're on 160, which is this guy right here, and we like the feeling that we're getting, or we're feeling some pain relief in this specific instance for the Pain Bio Basic, and we want to hold this frequency instead of going on to the next one, then I'm just going to simply hit the hold button here. Now what that's going to do is keep us on this 160 frequency indefinitely. Until I hit stop, there is no way to resume the program after I've hit the hold button itself. So once we've hit the hold button, you're going to stay on this 160. And again, if we want to, keep going on to the same program, we have to hit the stop button and hit the run button again, and that would restart us from the beginning. The next one is the skip button. So as we cycle through these different frequencies, we start off with frequency 160. We'll be running this for 3 minutes or 180 seconds. That's what the dwell time means. Say I don't like this frequency and I'm not getting anything out of it and I want to go ahead and skip it and go to the next one. I would just hit this skip button, and you can see it switched us right to the next one, which is 5,000, which is right underneath the 160, and that's what that skip button does. So it stops doing the countdown on the timer here because we now don't have an accurate time from when we actually stop the program, but this will go to the next frequency and follow the protocol, so it'll be under 30 minutes when you finish the program. So I'll go ahead and stop the program now and move on to the next section. Okay, next up we're going to talk about these buttons in the top right hand corner. First one is the Open Recent. This is exactly how it sounds. It is the last 10 programs that you've ran, just so you don't have to go to the Open Program and search these again. You can just go to your recent ones since we typically run a lot of the same programs over and over. The next one is the Memorize button. And for this one, I'm going to show you, we are running a program down here. We're going to go down to the DB hits. And when I click the Memorize button, this pops up down here, frequency 160. This just lets you know what the frequency is used for in the Rife world. So this frequency 160 is used for eye disorders, fibromyalgia, headaches, etc. And that's what the Memorize button does. But I'm going to go back to the status log here, and I'll go ahead and stop the program. And the next one we have is the Update Frequencies button. Now this one is going to be every time we set out a critical update, which is typically every couple of weeks when we're releasing new programs. You want to hit the Update Frequencies button, and you'll notice that in the bottom hand corner, it'll update basically all of the files in your TrueRife Frequencies folder. And when it's all done, you'll get a Done Updating Frequencies button at the bottom like that. So make sure to always hit that Update Frequencies button. Just as a quick note, whenever you hit this, none of your programs will ever be overwritten from TrueRife when you hit the Update Frequencies button. So if you've created your own custom programs or anything like that, all this does is add new ones to your database. It never erases anything, just as a quick note. Next one we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit run on this program again so I can show you what the repeat button does. And all this repeat button does is going to make this program, Pain Biobasic, run 3 times in a row, as long as we're not exceeding that 8-hour limit. So for instance, I've got Pain Biobasic running for 30 minutes. I have the repeat button engaged. This is going to run the entire program 3 times. So in this instance, we'd have an hour and a half worth of programs, and then it would stop and you'd be done with your program. Okay, next up, we're going to go back to the Open Program button and talk about the search feature here. So we do have a search engine that will just specifically look inside the TrueRife library. Say we wanted to look up something for pain, we would simply hit the pain button here, or sorry, type in pain and hit the search button. And then we have everything in the TrueRife library that includes the word pain. So if I wanted to run, say, Pain Acute here, for instance, I can double click and we're just going to hit open, and then the Pain Acute program comes up. DH stands for Dr. Howard's, my partner. And then again, you've got your sessions related programs, and we're ready to go on running that from the search tool. Okay, next up, we're going to look at stacking programs here in the TrueRife version 6 software. First, we're going to go over to Open Program, and let's talk about what stacking actually is. If I want to run 2 programs back to back without having to go into my TrueRife Frequencies folder after one program is finished and starting another one, I can do what's called stacking. So I would have acid reflux, for instance, and say I wanted to run anxiety and relaxation right out of the top of it, or right after it's all done. If I click on anxiety and relaxation, you can see I can't highlight both. All we need to do is have our first program highlighted with our left mouse cursor, and on a PC, we're going to hold the control button while I click the anxiety and relaxation. That highlights both programs here and will allow me to run them back to back. Let's go ahead and do one more for demonstration here, like circulatory stasis. And we'll do acid reflux, anxiety and relaxation, and circulatory stasis all back to back. I would hit the open button, and I'm going to go ahead and hit run just to show you what's going on here. Oh, I already had a program running, so I'll hit stop, and now I'll hit run. So I've got 2 hours and 51 minutes is my total time. If you can see here all the way at the top, I've got acid reflux for 1 hour and 21 minutes. And then I would scroll down, and here is your anxiety relaxation next up for 49 minutes. And then right under that, I've got circulatory stasis for 40 minutes. So it stacks these programs back to back to back, so I don't have to do any stops. And again, make sure to use that pause button if you need to take a break, that we don't have to start the program over. Okay, while we're on the subject of stacking, I want to go over a very common question I get on the daily, and that is, what if I want to stack a program that's in, say, the overnight sets folder, and then I have another one that's in the main frequency folder? How do I stack them from the TrueRife version 6 software? All of it starts out in our TrueRife frequencies folder, which is the documents, not in the software itself. For instance, if we want to stack an overnight set, let's just go into overnight and say I wanted to stack anxiety and relaxation. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this program. I'm going to go back into my TrueRife frequencies folder, and you can do one of two things. You can just paste it into your private folder here, like that, or we can go into the main frequencies folder if you would like and hit paste. And I already have these saved in here, but so now you would have the one that was in the overnight folder in the main folder, and all we needed to go to now is go back to our TrueRife software, hit open program, and if I go back to my private folder, that program I just saved is now in this folder, and I can stack it like normal. There's that overnight anxiety and relaxation. I can now copy with whatever I want, or I can go back to the TrueRife frequencies folder, and if I'm going to look at that anxiety and relaxation, there it is. I can also stack this. So in reality, all we're doing is going to the folder that we want to pull the program from, to stack it with other ones, copying it and putting it in a different location. That way, it makes it easy for us to grab a couple of different ones just like this here. Okay, now that I have this program here that has the stacking of acid reflux and anxiety and relaxation along with circulatory stasis, say I want to save this program and keep this for later, I'm going to go to File and Save As, and I'm going to go ahead and name this Jake's Daytime Program. And very good idea here, since this is a bulb program, you always want to label the program that you are stacking here, bulb or bath, to make sure that we're not running something accidentally on the wrong application. So I'm going to go ahead and put Jake's Daytime Program bulb, and I'll save that here. That automatically saves it into your TrueRife frequencies folder. You don't need to hit update frequencies. I would simply go to open program, type in Jake. Oops, sorry, I want to search Jake up here. And there's Jake's Daytime Program dash bulb. I can just hit open, and then it loads it up, and I'm ready to run that program. Okay, next up we're going to talk about our private folder. And for this one, we're going to exit the TrueRife software. We're going to go down to our file manager here. I'll bring it up on this side. And we're going to go to our Documents tab. And this is where our TrueRife frequencies folder is at. We're going to go ahead and double click our TrueRife frequencies folder. Now this is actually where all of the frequencies, when you hit update frequencies, will actually save on your hard drive, not really into the TrueRife software. That's just where you access them. And you'll notice I have a folder here called private folder. That custom program we just made, if I want to just go down here and search Jake, there's my Jake's Daytime Bulb program. I'm going to right click here and hit the cut button, which is the scissors, or you can hit Control X. And I'm going to scroll back up to my private folder up at the top here. And I'm going to double click that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit paste. I can either do Control V or I can hit paste here with my button. And now I've got my custom program saved in my private folder. This is just a good idea to have all of your custom programs that you've either made for yourself into your private folder. And when we're going back in our TrueRife frequencies and we hit open program, I can simply open my private folder, and there it is. All of my programs I've saved for myself are right in one convenient location. You can just name this, could have named it Jake's private folder or whatever. I just keep it private. That way you have all of your custom programs in one location. Okay, now we're going to dive into some tips and tricks. I have had customers ask me who want to create overnight sets, but the program that they want to run is only 20 to 30 minutes long, but they want to make one that's, say, 8 hours so they can run it all night. And I'll show you how to do this here. All right, in this, we're going to go out of our version 6 software, back into our folder, back to Documents, and we're going to go down to the TrueRife frequencies. All right, this is where we're going to be able to make our custom programs. So for instance, I'm going to use, say, abscesses and acid reflux. Same process for stacking. We want to hit Control. That way we're grabbing both, and we'll just do one more addiction. So I'm going to go ahead and right click here and hit the copy button. And I'm going to go to my private folder, and I'm going to show you how to make a custom deal here. So we're going to paste those and ignore the replace. And now I've got abscesses, acid reflux, and addiction in here. So say, for instance, I want to make an overnight program that has acid reflux to start, then addiction, and then I want to run abscesses, say, 4 times in a row. That's how I'm going to show you how to do that here. So first time we have our acid reflux, and then we have addiction, and then we have abscesses that I want to run 4 times. All I want to do is copy this abscesses, and then I want to hit paste, and we're going to rename that abscesses 1. And the same process, we would do this exact same thing again. We would hit copy, and we're going to hit paste again, and we're going to rename that one abscesses 2. And one more time, copy, paste, and now I've got abscesses 3. Okay, now that we have all of these saved in our private folder, let me show you how to stack all these and make your own custom program that runs these multiple times. So we're going to go back in our TrueRife folder here. We're going to hit open program. I'm going to go to my private folder. And now we're just going to do a simple stacking technique that I showed you in the previous frame here. I would hit acid reflux, hold my control button down, hit addiction, and then I would highlight abscesses 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. And now we're going to run and hit open here. And if you notice up in the top, I've got our abscesses to start. Then it goes down to abscesses 2, abscesses 3, and then abscesses, which is the one I didn't name with the fourth one. So it runs those 4 right in a row. And then after that, we've got our acid reflux and our last one, which is addiction. So this runs them all back to back to back. If I hit run, I can see that I've got 3 hours and 35 minutes. If you want to, here at the top, you can just hit the enter button, hit the pound sign, and you can go ahead and write in 3 hours and 34 minutes and hit the enter button one more time. Just make sure you hit the pound space and then 3 hours, 34 minutes. This is just me being organized. You don't have to do this. Next thing I want to do is go ahead and hit file and save as. And we're going to go back to our TrueRife frequencies folder in the documents, which is right here. And I'll go back to my private folder and I'm going to name this one Jake's Custom Overnight Set and Bulb. So now we have that one saved and you've stacked multiple programs. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about copying a custom program to FGEN and what that means. FGEN is our frequency generating device, and this is for people who want to run the exact same program every single day or every single time they turn on the machine. This will automatically get the machine running the program as soon as you hit the on button on the F122 itself. So for instance, I'm going to go to Open Program, go to my private folder, and I'm going to do Jake's Overnight Set. Say I'm just going to do this every night when I go to sleep. This is the one I want to run. And all I want to do is not have to have a laptop in my room. I can just simply copy this to the generator. So I'll have that open. It's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and hit File and Copy to FGEN. We're going to hit the OK button. And I'm going to select Jake's Overnight Set, which is bulb. And I'll click the Open button. And you have a done copying files. What this does is every single time I turn on my frequency generator now, it is automatically going to run Jake's Overnight Set - bulb. This is so you don't have to have the laptop in your bedroom. And until you hit File, Delete Auto Run, this program will always be saved. And every time you turn on the generator, that program is going to run from start to finish unless you hit the stop button and you're connected to a laptop. If you want to change that program or disable what we just did, we just want to make sure we hit Delete Auto Run. And now we don't have it copied to the frequency generator anymore. The only other things we need to worry about up here, just some buttons that we don't want to hit. If we go to Tools and you see Update Firmware or FPGA, you will never need to do this, so just ignore these 2 buttons. We have a help and user guide, and that pretty much concludes all of our version 6 software tips and tricks. Feel free to give us a call if you have any other questions, or email us at support@truerife.com. Thanks so much for all the support in TrueRife, and you guys have a great day.